SuperBowl bonus segment. I'm Lex, representing the Green Bay Packers, joined by Mr. Corey Thompson of the Detroit Lions, Mr. Lavon Lane representing the Chicago Bears, and you guys saw Mr. Axel Roy representing the New Orleans Saints early in the episode. We're just talking football, guys. This is the last night in America before the National Football League is back. How are y'all feeling, boys? How are y'all? First off, it's good to see you. I'm glad that we're just doing this impromptu show, but how y'all doing, man?
Oh, yeah.
What's everybody got going on right now?
Oh, no, man. With me, hey, everything good, man. Just had a birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday to Corey, y'all. Happy birthday to Mr. Corey Thompson. Hey. He turned 74.
You mean the reverse? We got to reverse it.
Yeah, I know. I had to do it like that.
Well, to me later. Just make sure you remember. But nah, man, just blessed to see another year around, man. So I'm good. I'm good. No complaints.
Hey, what about you, Miss Lane? How you doing up there in Seattle, boy?
Hey, doing well, man. Just enjoy. I'm ready for some football, man. I'm ready for some football. I'm ready to see what Ben Johnson gonna bring to the table. I'm ready what these shit Packers gonna do with what your boy say? Spinal.
We're gonna get to Mike that. Tyson. We're gonna get to that. Oh my god! Fucking hate you, dude. Fucking hate you.
So I'm ready for.
You're an asshole.
I'm ready for some.
That was a sleeper joke, bro. Like.
Hey, I keep wanting to
snuck that in there. That was funny, dude. Oh my god. My bad, Mr. Lane. Go ahead.
So I'm ready for some good football, man. Tomorrow kicks it off. Ready for the Detroit Lions. Take care of business at home, and Green Bay. Just go ahead and lay down some eggs. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Axel, I got this one. Don't worry about it, Axel. I got it. Put the glasses back on.
Fucking asshole, bro. All right, skip. Hey, I got my shade by the portiere, bitch ass nigga. Here we go. Nah, for though, it's good.
But yeah.
So me and Axel, we had a couple of bits in the episode. We went through the Packers schedule and the Saints schedule. We don't have to do that right now. We can do that for a later show. But what I do want to talk about is how the fuck did the NFC North end up with division matchups, all of us, on week 1? Like, I think that's an interesting question because during our show,
not again until the end of the season, like the last 5 games.
They're spread out, and then the gauntlet that we all go through in the last 3 or 4 weeks of the season is just division game. It's like, dude, we have a week 5 bye. What do you guys have? The Lions have a week 8 bye, right?
Week 5.
Yeah,
for us.
So you have a week 5 bye too, dude. Like, dude, I don't know what the Vikings bye, but that, y'all, week 8 is a lot better than week 5, but I don't even know how that should even procured like that, dude.
True.
It's one of those things too where it's our division, dude. We're coming up on unprecedented heights. All of our teams are starting to, put personnel in place to actually be reputable championship teams potentially. There's a lot of crazy changes of coaches. Some people are picking up high volume players. Let's talk a little bit about the matchup. And we'll start with the Bears first. Corey, we'll round this out. We got shit to talk. But Lavon, how are you feeling about your matchup against the Vikings, brother?
Man, I'm feeling pretty good about the matchup. As I, just been digging a little deeper in the analytics of just Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator because he haven't been through his first game as a head coach yet. So I look at him against the Flores defense, and you know what that record is? Of course, he's with Detroit. Of course, with Detroit, but his record is 4-0 in 2 years. 4-0 against the Flores defense in 2 years. Oh yes, he didn't have Caleb. He had the Lions quarterback, Jared Goff. So it make a big difference, and he already had people established. However, I just want to see how Caleb sees it from the lenses of Ben Johnson and how he reacts from that. And so if he can react and respond appropriately, not turning the ball over, definitely not taking those sacks. We ain't doing all that.
Yeah, because Caleb does have a track record of holding on to the ball too long. But like you said,
yes, he does.
But go ahead. Sorry.
Yes, he does. Yeah, no, and hopefully he can get the ball out on time. He's been doing pretty good with that. Of course, it's been preseason. But other than that, I just want to see how we respond to, the Flores defense with Ben Johnson. Now, let me say this right quick, and I ain't gonna hold you long.
No, go for it.
We had Shane Waldron as our offensive coordinator last year, right?
Yeah, he did. Terrible,
and
but yeah, he did.
Exactly. But Caleb Williams his quarterback rating was over 100. It was 105. Plus, he threw nearly 70% with 3 touchdowns, no touchdowns against a Brian Flores defense.
Okay.
And this was with Shane Waldron. I wonder what he can do with Ben Johnson.
See, but at this point though, you're playing fucking roulette with this, because really the question is Ben Johnson's high-powered offensive mind? Because like, I'll be real with you, Ben Johnson has crafted the most effective trick plays in the NFL seasons I've seen, at least in the past couple.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to take that away from him. I'm not going to lie. That fake handoff and then Jared dropped back and he got the late hit. I was like, that was disgusting. You know, the fake fumble pass play. That was disgusting. Like, but see, the question that comes down, it's like I said, Jared Goff's had multiple years in the league. Caleb Williams is obviously a prospect. It's huge, but I'll ask you this about this. I'm hearing the second string Chicago quarterback got an arm too, though.
Let me tell you about Tyson Bagent. Man, some people, if you look in the chats of some of these Chicago Bears podcasts, they actually want him as the starter.
Yeah.
And he came from, let's do a little background check. He came from a D2. He broke majority all quarterback D2 records in college. But he's been under he's been there for like 3 or 4 years. He's been there with Justin Fields, and now he's there with Caleb. So he's seen, and he just got an extension. But the way he run Ben Johnson's offense, I'm gonna be honest with you, Lo. Yeah. Bagent run the offense. Of course, he haven't played against an NFL team during the season yet, but just from a control perspective, just controlling the narrative of what's been called, Bagent run the offense close to Jared Goff.
Okay.
I've seen it.
That's why, and that's why when Ben Johnson talk about Tyson Bagent, he's like, this man is smart as a whip. He said, this man run this offense crisp. And I was like, wow. And you see it. You see it during practice. You see it during preseason, stuff like that. But anyway, long story short, I want to see Caleb be on time with his throws. Yes, we have a different offensive line. We put money in that offensive line. Last year, we ranked last in offensive line, and this showed as far as financially. This year, we stepped it up to the middle of the pack as far as paying off offensive line. And I want to see how that meshed together.
Yeah, I think that's cool. And I will say, just to furthermore, Corey, if you guys don't say, I'll let you go after me. I totally think that Tyson Bagent has a certain quality about him. And this is going to sound like a crazy leap, but I see a lot more of Aaron Rodgers in Tyson Bagent than I do Jared Goff. There's one thing I can say about Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers is a quarterback, and like Tom Brady is the most decorated, sure. Aaron Rodgers has pulled off a fuckload of miracles.
Good point.
You know what I mean? Like, he's a very accurate passer. He knows their muscle tendencies. So if he's running down the field and left sideline, he knows that Devontae Adams likes to hit a late jump back and put it on his back shoulder. You know what I mean? Like, he's an intricate thinker as well as a good passer. And I think that in order to be effective, you kind of have a certain level of aptitude in the sense that you need to know people's tendencies. So when you're tired, when it's fourth down, when there's a minute and a half left on the clock, you're trying to eat the clock up and go down and get in and get that dub. You need to know everybody's tendencies. You need to be able to, at a somewhat level, be able to predict the level of mistakes that people are going to make. And unfortunately, one of the things I think is as much as I love the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson doesn't have that. He's just very good at making decisions. There's a different level of tactical play at there. And football, and I've been talking with a bunch of people about the difference between college football and NFL. NFL football is way more grindy than college football. There's way more explosive plays in college football simply because arguably the lack of experience. But I mean, if we're Bill Belichick, you saw the fuck that happen. You know what I mean? But we'll talk about more of that later in the show. But Lavon, dude, I think you guys got a good outlook. I think that you guys should be a little bit cautious in your expectations. This comes from a Packers fan, so I know you don't give a fuck. But, just as an overall football lover, I think that there's definitely something to look forward to in you guys' outlook. I feel really good about it. So I think it's going to be an exciting season in the North. We're going to take a little commercial break, and we're going to come back. We're going to talk about this Packers and Lions game, boys. Woo! Spike. Welcome back to the Spike. Now, I just heard a little bit of a challenge there. Lavon Lane, what'd you just say there, sir?
Hey, October 19th. It's on and popping. Yes, sir. We're going to bring the South to the North. What I mean by that? Saints, come travel up 55 North to the Shy. Let's see. Chicago Bears, what you going to do, Axel? What them Saints going to do in the Shy?
Yeah.
You know, if we're going to go off a historic record, I believe the New Orleans Saints played the series against the Bears 19-15 overall. So I'm going to keep continuing in my favor.
Okay. So you remember?
Might get to 20. We're going to get to 20 this year. It's okay. We're going to get
he's finna run a dub on you. Okay.
Oh, wow. Yeah. You know how the pastors say, yeah. So you remember last time y'all came to Chicago?
No, not really. Ain't much to do in Chicago from what I remember.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's true. From a Saints fan, it wasn't much to do at all. You know, it wasn't much to do. But, yeah, y'all had Reggie Bush.
Oh, yeah. Good times.
Good times. Yeah, it was good times. And, last time, I think we went to, you see that finger right there?
I knew you were going to say something about the finger. That's funny.
Yeah. No, it's a great time.
Now, let me ask you all a question.
Hey, all I got to say is one thing, because I know, we all have these things, but I do believe it does say in the Bible, you must not lie. And verses and Proverbs emphasize the negative consequences of falsehoods and the importance of a truthful witness. So, don't be speaking nothing crazy before we...
Hold on.
Oh, shit.
Everybody, stay tuned. Me and Axel, we coming on live.
Coming soon. Oh, hell yeah. But, dude, I got a question for you guys, because I'm not going to lie. Y'all's two teams playing is actually a really interesting matchup. Obviously, Axel, you guys are struggling with the offensive potential issues that you guys have with Spencer Rattler and, his productivity. And then, we got this hot to trot Chicago new regime going on. Like, is there certain aspects of you guys' teams that you think are more important than others? Or how do you guys feel about the matchup?
Axel, go ahead.
It's the first season that we actually have, like, Spencer Rattler getting, like, the full reins. It's not like, oh, so-and-so's injured. Everyone's injured. Just go out there, go do your best luck.
It's his team.
We don't have a defensive-minded head coach, and I don't even remember our last head coach's name. So
Dennis Allen.
I've regretted Dennis Allen.
Yeah.
So and then we had, what was it after that? We had
the Rizzy.
We had Rizzy. We had Rizzy out after that. So it's like, last year was literally the first year that Spencer Rattler got to go play some plays, and it just was kind of like, all right, bro, we got to play this game, so, like, go out there and do something.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's like you've had all preseason, you have had all training camp, you got all the people, no one's injured right now, like, you have all this stuff going. So it's a little bit different. I'm excited to see what he can kind of do with it. I can't even fully go off of preseason because we didn't play everybody in preseason.
Fair.
So it's going to be interesting. I think come end of week 4, I have a really good, like, determination on how I feel about my team going after that.
Yeah.
But right now, it's still like, I feel like the little kid who's like, you've been wanting that Nintendo 64 all year.
That was my first console I wanted, for the record. I remember.
You get this big box, and you kind of, you're like, this feels about the same weight, looks about the same size. I know what it is, but I don't know yet. That's how I feel right now.
Okay. All right, Mr. Lane, what's your rebuttal to that, sir?
Good thing about this is we have 2 first-year head coaches. We have 2 offensive mindsets. It's gonna be amazing. I think it's gonna be a very creative offensive mindset game. Despite where we're playing in Chicago, I think you got to give it to what's his name, Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
I think he's a good mind.
He's a great play caller. The Cowboys were on fire when he was their offensive coordinator. I'm just saying. I'm not gonna lie, they were absolutely on fire.
Right. So I think after we all Axel team and my team stack some games up, we kind of see what some of our strengths, what some of our weaknesses, and start developing what type of regimen that fits us as a team, and start going along with, okay, this makes up the Saints and this makes up Chicago. So when we face off week 7, October 19th, I think, like Ben Johnson said, after our bye week in week 5, we'll start to see what kind of team we have, far as schemes we're running and who's healthy.
Yeah,
we got to see who's available. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
I'm excited too. All right, so moving on to an NFC North opener matchup from fucking hell. We got the Green Bay mother frickin' frackin' Packers going up against them Detroit kitty litter Lions. Papa, how you doing up there, Papa?
Chilling.
Chilling.
Smooth as always.
Smooth as always.
Calm.
He sound like, ooh. He's like, let me hit that shit I said quoi. Let me hit it with that jus de vivre. Let me hit that tout le monde le par le chiffre. You know what I'm saying? Like, ooh. Papa, I'm not gonna lie. I'm really glad we're opening up our season against you guys. And I think that it's one of those things too where it's like, and I'm not even on bullshit right now. I think that the Green Bay Packers have an issue with, providing a certain level of consistency. And I think that definitely stems down from Matt LaFleur's kind of passive, we'll scheme it, into oblivion now. And I think that there's a huge thing. And obviously we could talk about the Micah Parsons trade all day, and which we might do that after this. But I want to talk about the game, objectively first. I think that Matt LaFleur as a head coach, you guys have heard me on this show. I've had my gripes. I've said that, at times he's too conservative. He needs to learn when to challenge. He needs to let his emotions not, navigate his style of gameplay. I think that the fact that we just had a new president instated, mad respect to Mark Murphy. He did great things. He got us, I'm so cool with him. He did a lot of cool things. I had enjoyed a lot of Packers football from him. But, with Ed Policy stepping into that president CEO role, that's a whole different thing because he came in. And I don't know if you guys are aware, but our GM, Brian Gutekunst, and our head coach, Matt LaFleur, are on the last years of their contracts. So they are literally forced to come out this season and prove their worth. And, and even though regardless, I think that unfortunately, I think there's a high likelihood that they might just get re-signed just because. But I mean, like, Burr, Parr, them just completely not being reputable as head coaches and proving their worth. I think that they have just as much riding on the season as, the Packers do in the status of the division. Because, we've eked into the playoffs the past two seasons. We did, our first, Jordan's rookie year, we were definitely a lot more explosive and there was a lot more things firing on all cylinders. But obviously sophomore slump, and now this guy's, taking on one of the highest paid quarterback contracts in the NFL. And I think that this is the perfect season we need to prove it. We made certain moves to acquire certain defensive players. We've always needed an edge rusher. And, Micah Parsons, despite the injury controversy, he will be fine in a couple of weeks. And once that man becomes a permanent fixture of this defense, this is definitely more of a rounded game plan, especially if our DC is able to, scheme up the proper plays and stuff, going forward. I think that I have a lot of faith in, our coaching staff. I just think that this point, I don't want to see any more press conferences where it's, we got outplayed. We got outperformed. I don't want to hear the words, they were the better football team. I want to hear, we didn't do good enough. Like, I want to hear, we're going to change things. I want to hear, we're trying to win. I want to feel that warrior mentality because, like us two teams playing, and me and Alex talked about it previously. When we played last season, Dan Campbell with a fourth down 6 or 7 times total. And 6 of those 7, he fucking converted. That's an aggressive mindset from a head coach. That's a coach who believes, and all of his players feed off of his tenacity. And, if there's any gripe I have in Matt LaFleur, because, when Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback of this team, obviously we were whooping ass and taking names and running the division, but we never got a Super Bowl with him. And that could be testament to, the GM, making questionable picks and shit like that. But it's also one of those things where I really look at it as we got shit to prove and we don't got time to be passive. A winning record isn't good enough anymore. Like, we just gave this man all this money. We just paid the highest fucking defensive player in the history of the goddamn league. We need to fucking prove it up and put up or shut up. But I think that us in a matchup, I might have more to say after you say something, but I'm excited that we're starting this things off with the stakes immediately at the top. It's going to be a great week 1. What about you, Papa?
Oh, yeah. Like I said, definitely a great way to start the season. But division rivalry, Green Bay, Detroit. And like you pretty much were saying, like with Dan Campbell, I know with us, like I said, we got it's new with the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator. I'm not worried about the defense coordinator. It's just more with the offensive coordinator. And It's gonna be something to see how he run the offense. Like I said in preseason, you never count preseason. That's why a lot of people were talking to us
Mm-hmm.
about how we were losing preseason games. I said half them players won't even be on the team. So y'all talking that noise. So I just said okay. So just ready to see how it's gonna run and operate. But it's definitely gonna be, like I said, a good matchup because we at home.
Don't start that shit.
At the right boy.
Don't start that shit. Don't start that shit. Don't start that shit, bro.
Yeah. But I said
We'll see y'all on Thanksgiving. Don't worry.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Let me say something right quick. I was watching, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I watch all y'all podcasts like as much as I can. So I was watching Corey's podcast with St. Brown. He got his own personal podcast with his brother.
Yeah.
Right. I was watching that.
I'm not gonna lie. I haven't really watched it. I definitely need to. Sorry, Lavon. That's a good idea, though. Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I can share it with y'all. But he had a real good podcast on with Rama Dunze from Chicago Bears, and of course, St. Brown. Like, yeah, I've been watching y'all. Y'all headliners and stuff. He's actually seeing what Ben Johnson run. Yeah, he looking. He like, man, St. Brown was like, man, y'all running that same plays. And Ron was like, he came back with like, man, y'all probably still running the same plays. And he was like, we still have some of the same plays that Ben Johnson implemented, but he switched up the bag a little bit. So, and Ron was like, well, yes, we do have some of y'all plays, but we switched up a bag a little bit. So I love that back and forth camaraderie, especially you have the middleman is Ben Johnson, who actually ran both offenses.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing those guys just, they're real cool friends, like we all are.
Yeah.
But they with different teams and they can talk smack and love. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And man, I just love it, man.
No.
I just love it.
I got something to say. That's it. But look like how you said how Ben Johnson run some of the same plays, or run the plays or whatnot. And like I told the guy at work, I said Ben Johnson is a mastermind.
He is. Absolutely. He's like a Dr. Doom motherfucker.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, he run them same plays, but I guarantee you he got a sack full of other plays
that he ain't even showed you about. Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Exactly. So it's not him worried about you, the team seeing what we doing, or just say the camera catching what we doing. He's not worried about that because I got a sack full of other stuff that y'all ain't seen yet.
Yep.
That can, know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah. Like I said, the NFC North is really gonna be. Like I told him,
it's the best division in football. It's the best division in football, like hands down.
Man.
Like it's honestly the most cutthroat division in football. And I think that and that's another thing is like and I didn't mean to interrupt you, I didn't mean to say thunder pop up, but I was going to say something like I think that there's something special about all of us being NFC North teams and kind of being the core of the show, is because our league evolves. But our league also has some of the oldest history in the National Football League. Like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things that kind of stem from that. And, I think that where our conference is right now, where our division is right now as a whole, is we're all kind of breaking against what we've done in the past. Like the Packers just took a fucking receiver in the first round. We picked up a big edge rush off a huge trade. We picked up a safety and a new running back. Like that's not unprecedented. The Chicago Bears, the McCaskies, rest in peace, had to change. They're starting to spend money. They're becoming contenders. The Detroit Lions, have been notoriously bad. Now you guys are fucking putting shit in places. And to be real with you, I think that there's a certain quality to say that we're able to talk shit and tell each other, fuck all our teams, fuck this, fuck that. But it's like, dude, we all love the game so much that we're along for the ride just as much as we are along for the win. I think it's something that every division can't say. Like Axel, he's a Saints fan. He's from the NFC South, dude. That division has pretty much been the Bucs for the past 5 years. The Falcons have got there. There was the Breeze era. There was a competitive edge there, but there's not nearly like a legacy with any of those teams as our division has. But I don't know. I think it's cool. But going back full circle, Pop. One of the things I'm excited to see is if, when you guys talk about, and this is the best part of our division, is all 4 coaches in our division have completely different mindsets, right? Ben Johnson is the trickster. That's like, if I had to say it, he's the trickster, right? Dan Campbell's the Viking, right? Then we got fucking Kevin O'Connell. Kevin O'Connell's a Navy SEAL. Right?
Beast.
He's a beast.
Yeah, beast.
And then we got Matt LaFleur, and Matt LaFleur is Spetsnaz. You know what I mean? Like, it's like all these different versions of warrior implemented, you know, and I think that, you know, like, I think that, and this is just my personal opinion, I think that as a head coach of a football team in any league, but especially in the National Football League, your mindset trickles down to your players. When you're playing these guys millions of dollars and shit, you know, like, dude, like, we just picked up Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons better have a fire under his ass. Or you know what I mean? Like he has to.
Yeah.
But also he's in a position to, and I think one of the most beautiful parts of our organization is we allow players to lead. You know, we're not about like, you're going to beat this. It's like, dude, you win, you have at it. You know, like it's an unprecedented thing. And I think that all of our teams in our division in particular, in the North, have that same quality. What do you guys think?
So, Imorie, so with that being said, do you say with Green Bay, is it Super Bowl or bust?
No, I think we have a window. I think we're just entering into a window. I think the next 3 to 4 years is Super Bowl or bust. I'm gonna be realistic because I don't like. I could be optimistic all day, but I think that our main issue is the consistency, and I don't know if you can scheme consistency into a football team. That's just how I feel about it.
So what about this year? Let's just say this year.
I think this year is going to depend on health more so than anything.
Okay,
that's my personal take.
Because your quarterback Love.
Yeah, like yes, that's what I'm saying. Micah, and then we got, you know, there's the God knows how, you know, you guys know how shit just happens, you know. In the preseason game, you know, we saw people get counted off, you know, and it's like, dude, in a sport like this with such high stakes, that's another thing that I think like there's a primal element, and so I as much as I fucking hate the Detroit Lions, I do like Dan Campbell. You know, I can't hate him because he's a good leader. Like, if I was in a battalion in the military and Dan Campbell was like, charge, motherfucker, I'm charging. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and that's like what it really comes down to is like a team in the National Football League, and we'll take a brief intermission after I say this, but a team in the National Football League has to know their goal and they all have to unite it, you know, and I think that that's the beautiful part of our division. Hell yeah, I'm sorry. We're going to pause for a second, take a little break. We'll be right back.
I hope you're having a good day at work. I'm sure you are, considering that you're texting me, so which basically means you're not doing shit. But you had a hectic last night, so I'm glad it's going smooth for you. Well, I hope you get home safe, and I don't know, maybe instead of eating those chicken strips, you eat something healthier. I'm just kidding. Do you? But I'm probably gonna head home soon. Home? What am I talking about? I saw your text come in and it threw me off. I mean, I'm probably gonna go to sleep soon. I work tomorrow, but yeah, I'm super excited. I love what I do. I love my job. Yes, positivity. But anyways, yeah. Well, you have a good night, and we'll talk then.
All right, guys, welcome back to The Spike. We got one more little segment for you guys. We're going to talk about 2 more topics before we wrap this little quick and props to show up. Tom Brady had some choice words about quarterbacks. Axel, you want to give us a little bit more information on that?
So Tom Brady in an interview pretty much stated, they asked him a question about like the league and everything, and he responded with the differences in quarterbacks and like how it makes a difference in the plays and everything. He pretty much stated that good quarterbacks, when they do a play, they run and they find the first person that they celebrate with. That's the thing he looks at, is like when there's a touchdown, who is the first person he finds and celebrates with? And he's like, he brought up, who's like, when I got a touchdown, the first person I ran to is the lineman to like thank them pretty much. And then he said, I always told my linemen, we are all running to the end zone, no matter if it's 90 something yards or 2 yards, and we're celebrating with the whole team. He said there was a big presence in like against the other team of knowing like, okay, this one guy got a touchdown and he's sitting there pointing at the crowd, doing this, doing all these theatrics. And then the guy who's like, you're going against that one player in a way is what it feels like. But when the guy sits there makes a touchdown, and the whole team runs up and celebrates. There's like that camaraderie and teamwork. Is like you're not fighting against one guy; you're trying to stop this whole squad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he talked about like that. It kind of got portrayed and kind of thrown at. This is why Tom Brady and the Raiders didn't pick Shedeur.
Interesting. Lavon, you got anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, you know, just think about it. Actually, I saw the same thing you saw, but you know, as you know, the rumor go around is Tom Brady is the mentor of Shedeur Sanders, or he's taught him in certain camps or certain things in the offseason about how to play the position of quarterback. However, when Tom Brady is in a position to pick up his mentee, it's like, nah. How do you feel like that if you was a player, like you being developed under the regime of the GOAT, and you don't get picked up by the GOAT, you know, as he's in front office, and I just it boggles me. Like I don't understand why that. Hey,
Look,
he know how I am.
Yeah.
He know my father. He know how I play. He seen me play, and at the same time, due to my antics or what I normally do, you're not gonna pick me up. I just it's something missing right
There's a disconnect. And if I may, if you don't mind, Lavon, I actually like to take that one. When you look at Tom Brady's status on the New England Patriots and his status on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady was the driving force of that team's mindset. Number one, because he would take a pay cut to put the personnel around him to get all of the right players in position. But number two, because he was a leader more so, he was a leader before he was a quarterback, right? And when you're talking about earning the respect of your team, because the starting quarterback should be in a perfect like designed team for any sport, whether it's a striker on a soccer team, a quarterback for a football team, the point guard for NBA team. Like it has to be someone where everyone trusts their judgment. And I know I've kind of drawn this comparison, a couple of times, but it's the difference between Tom Brady being a decorated athlete and Aaron Rodgers being a respected athlete, right? And if you look at it from like the macro perspective, Tom Brady, and we're talking about things he recently said, he just came out and said that Aaron Rodgers was the most gifted person to ever throw football in the history of the league. I believe him. I do. I absolutely do. Another thing about Aaron Rodgers is the Green Bay Packers never gave him the weapons that the Patriots, that he would never take a pay cut to get the weapons that Tom Brady would take a pay cut to get. And that's the ultimate fault to like the overall hierarchy of the Green Bay Packers organization. We're a privately owned team by the public. We're owned by the city of Green Bay. Like there's a whole bunch of other, mumbo jumbo political things there. But as a player, down to the core, regardless of the name, Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady, I have seen Aaron Rodgers do more shit that doesn't make sense than I've ever seen from Tom Brady. But what I've seen from Tom Brady is I've seen him unite both sides of the football behind his energy. You know what I mean? It's like the Green Ranger versus Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like the Green Ranger just showed up and fucked everything up and like set the record straight. My version, that's like Aaron Rodgers. And then there's, Batman who comes on and puts the Justice League together and they beat Darkseid's ass. That's Tom Brady, and it's like a double-edged sword, and I think that depending on who your head coach is, depending on your cap space, depending on, how many egos you have in room, like, and this is why one of my favorite football contents ever created is fictional in Any Given Sunday. Also the replacements. That shit was a complete, satire to show like the overall aspect of how influential that personalities can be in a room, in a locker room. Because regardless of what you guys want to admit, sure, being on the field is what your stats provide. But you win or lose the respect of a football team in the locker room. You know what I mean? Like that's something that I think that is kind of evolving in the culture, especially with a bunch of these young coaches. And so Lavon, to answer your question, I think the disconnect between him and the overall, lack of respect is Shedeur's got to do it, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he comes from legacy blood. It's like if Luke Skywalker was afraid to be a Jedi, or if he was saying off rip he was going to be the best Jedi ever, which he wasn't. He was afraid. He showed that fear. Because if there's anything I've learned about being a warrior, and I don't mean like a fucking fighter or hunter or anything, just like a warrior internally, your mental struggles. You know, we're black men in America. We deal with battles every day about, you know, second guessing who I am. You know what I mean? I have my own personal struggles. But the thing that keeps me going is the confidence that comes from being able to look inside myself and truly believe that I'm doing things the right way. And, you know, what kind of version you are, whether you're the Green Ranger, whether you're Batman, you have to decide. But whichever one you choose, you also have to be willing to accept the sacrifices of, you know, running side path. But that's what I got to say about it. I hope that was a decent analogy.
No, that's good. That's good.
But you got
and so, you know,
go ahead, Papa.
To lead. No, I just gonna say no. Pick back what you saying. You know, not too much to say because you said a whole mouthful with that one. Yeah,
Papa wasn't too much, but
you gotta believe. No, it was enough. It was enough. You gotta be that leader of a man to like, okay, we could do this, even though he might not be ready for it, but look here, this is why I see right now we should make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, the main thing, you know, you got to be ready to lead this, that, another, you know. But my thing with Shedeur, and I always say it back to draft day, when he was talking about, if you're not ready to change your culture, don't draft me. Just say, okay, see, you put your foot in your mouth then. You know what I'm saying? I'm always the one. Let your gang speak. Your gang gonna speak for itself. If you that guy, your gang gonna speak. You know. You ain't gotta talk that noise like that, you know. Okay. And see, like how Warren Moon said, he said his dad could talk that noise because he played cornerback. Cornerback and quarterback is a different position to talk noise.
Absolutely, they are.
As a
completely different mindsets.
You can talk noise. As a cornerback, like, look here, you can throw anybody, you can throw a pass my way. I can do that. I can say that stuff. As a quarterback, I can't sit here and say, look here, man, if they don't have me on team, I'm not, we're not going to win. This, that, and other. Okay, the outfield line might not block for you because you're talking that noise. Their running back might not run for you. You're talking that noise. Their wide receiver might not catch for you because you're talking that noise. So you have to pick your battles. You know what
Absolutely.
I really think Shedeur could be that guy. Just my thing is just be quiet at your games talk. That's my thing.
Yeah, exactly.
The smartest man in the room is often the most quiet man in the room. You got to listen more than you speak.
Exactly.
Take everybody's thing in. You don't got to lead by example. That's that's the cool hand Luke mentality. You know, Corey, me, as much as we're different in age, you're 75, I'm 32. You know what I'm saying? But we.
Yeah, so
I'm just saying, we're different, but we're also very similar in a lot of ways. You know, we definitely have, old fashioned, ideas of what a leader is. But let's wrap this up. Let's go into one last topic that we're going to wrap the show up, because I know that a lot of you guys have a lot of things you want to say. Let's talk about this Micah Parsons trade. Now, Axel, go ahead, pop it off. Go ahead, just go ahead.
Pop it up, Axel.
It's crazy because, like, you gave a lot of things up, and my biggest thing when I saw
we really didn't know. We didn't know.
Hold on, doctor. Hold on.
Oh no, he didn't. No, he didn't.
Hold on, doctor.
All I'm saying is you gave up 2 straight years of first-round talent.
We fucking suck at first-round picks.
That doesn't matter if you suck or not. To shoot yourself in the leg doesn't make you any dumber than what you already are.
Dude, we'll be fine, dude. What round pick was Tom Brady picked up?
It don't matter. He wasn't on your team.
It don't matter though. But it's all about knowing how to draft, knowing how to pick him. I don't think it's that big of a sacrifice.
I'll say this too. You better get Jordan Love's thumb right because he's going to need it to hitchhike his way out of there when he loses his job.
No, his girlfriend will pick him up. His wife will pick him up. Do not do that. Do not do that. You're talking a lot of shit for the scrotum of the spine.
Y'all gave a lot of things up. One player, and I've heard all your rebuttals. Oh man, we gave a bad player, this, that, and the other. Who cares? You gave all this stuff for one guy who,
One guy?
The way
You're
I
talking
see it,
about him like he's a Lavon, fuck you. Okay, fuck you. All right,
the
but
way
like,
I see it is this: y'all are acting like the one thing you needed to win a Super Bowl was this one player, but you didn't even win your division last year. And mind you, also,
hold on a minute.
let me
Hold
grab
on a
something.
minute.
Oh, my
Hold on a
back,
minute.
my back.
Okay.
Hey, Micah mess up his back too.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Go have fun with that in a tackle league. So all I'm saying is, you gave all these players all this stuff up for a guy who has given issues to people. He's got injuries. He's got all this stuff. Sure, he's a great talent, but what's that great talent going to do if he gets injured, or if he throws a hissy fit, or if the rest of your team just doesn't deliver because you weren't winning anyway?
You just said the word "if" 18 times. That's a lot of like negativity, and that's why your bitch ass is at the bottom. All right, let's just be real here, okay? Let's be real here. Micah Parsons, that trade picking up was possible. Papa, you go next. That trade was necessary. The opportunity to pick up a player of that caliber, even with trading away 2 firsts and our oldest player on our roster, was unprecedented. I don't give a fuck. This guy has a sprain, and you guys are acting like he needs to have spinal fusion surgery. I work in surgery every fucking day. Shut up, Lavon. I work in surgery every day. The sprain is minuscule. They're going to give this guy an epidural and a couple of milligrams of prednisone, and then by week 4, he's going to be busting all y'all's ass. Relax.
Epidural. Like, this man's pregnant.
Yeah, dude. Okay, first off, an epidural is a neurological pain reliever prior to pregnancy. But this man, you're talking a lot of shit for somebody who needs to give birth to a positive franchise. But we're not going to go there. You don't want to go there. Like, you don't want to go there.
You got a Super Bowl 1 year before me.
Yeah, but we have 4. How many y'all got?
How many of those actually count?
All of them, bitch. Who's the trophy named after it? Exactly. It's not the New Orleans trophy. It's the Lambeau trophy. Okay, so shut the fuck up.
It's not even the Lambeau trophy.
You know what? I'm fucking fucked up. Whatever. It's the goddamn shut the fuck up. All right? We know what I mean. You know what I mean. Shut up, bitch. Anyways, go ahead. I know Papa and Lavon got something y'all want to say.
Yeah, I think I'll say one thing, just one thing, and I get it, man. Like you said, he's a hell of a talent, one of the best defensive players out there. But you got to look at the injury. That still plays a factor now. It plays a factor,
but it's not a serious injury, though. Like, I can see if it's not that serious. It's not.
If it's serious, if it's injury, it's serious.
Time will tell. Time will tell. Sure.
Exactly.
Time will tell.
Now, like I said earlier, if I was, which I'd never be a goddamn pack of green.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say some bullshit. Go ahead. Say what you're going to say.
Like I said, you sit his ass down and let him heal because y'all paid him.
Yeah.
You got to think about the future, not about this game.
I'm not thinking about the game. That's exactly why I'm great with the trade. That's exactly why. Right. We got it like I told you guys. This is like, we're making aggressive moves towards, becoming a Super Bowl caliber team. But also, we're just entering into a window. I'm absolutely okay with that. Shut the fuck up. How many Super Bowls y'all got, Detroit? 0. So shut the fuck up. All right, let's be real here. All right, let's be real. Let's lay the cards where they may. Come on, Papa. Come on, Papa. 0. You were one and done, just like every other bitch ass team in the NFC North. You act like you're a goddamn king or something. You're the king of the Special Olympics.
Hey, we're in the fourth quarter now. Hey, you let it all out. We're in the fourth quarter.
Papa, I can't wait. I'm mad I can't watch this game with you. But don't you fucking worry. Win or lose, we play twice a season, bitch. Dude, your high horse is going to go down. You act like you have the same coaching staff. Ben Johnson said fuck y'all and went to Lavon. All right? Eric Lynn said fuck y'all and went to New York. Those are your best goddamn coaches. Dan Campbell's a leader, but without good lieutenants, y'all's fucking squadrons are going to be mixed up in their tactics. All I gotta say.
Ooh, wait.
You done?
Never.
Done.
I'm not done till the Super Bowl, buddy.
Okay, I got you. I'm just gonna say this right here, and I heard everything you said. First of all, I'm gonna tell you that type of language was uncalled for.
You almost made me
I
spit
love
my
you,
beer
brother.
out. That's crazy.
That man spit out his beer.
I almost did, dude. Oh my god, that was funny as hell.
Oh my, I love you, brother. You know I love you, man.
I
You know
love
I
you too,
love you,
dude.
man. And, real talk. Like I said, we gotta see. Like I said, we it's life out of Ben Johnson. Which is what we gotta do. You know, but what you gotta realize, we still if we stay healthy. That's my main thing.
That's
is
another
healthy
thing too. I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that 100%. Because health is going to determine our division. Straight the fuck up. And I said it previously.
Exactly.
Strength and conditioning is the most undervalued position on any team staff in any team in any league ever. Just saying. Just saying.
Exactly.
But go ahead, Papa.
So, but yeah, if our defense, because we took a big hit on injuries on defense.
Mm-hmm.
If our defense is healthy, come back, man, bro. Like I said, I'm a realist. I take it one game at a time. That's why I take
If your DC is as diabolical as Aaron Glenn, that's what it all comes down to. He has to have the sauce, bro. Oh, yeah, well, you need to be worried about the defense. You need to be.
Well, no, I'm not worried about...
Don't let Chicago beat y'all. Don't let Chicago beat y'all.
I told you, look here, brother. Look here, brother. Imorie, who won between Green Bay and Detroit last year? First game.
You know what? Fuck you. All right, that's fuck you. I'll plead the fifth.
Nah, that type of language, like I told
that's
you.
That's American language. Do not fucking hate. I'm an American citizen. Fuck you. All right.
So I'm just gonna say this motherfucking shit right now.
Uh-oh.
Until y'all get us, we on top. We on
top. Axel! Oh my god! Oh no! Axel! Eat shit! Eat shit! Oh my god!
Can I do Mike Tyson? I want to do Mike Tyson.
Oh my god, dude!
I want to do Mike Tyson. We got L4 and L5 passage joint. We got spinal. We gonna have to...
Oh my god, dude. You know what? Fuck this, dude. My name is Lex, representing the Green Bay Packers. We got Lavon, Tyrone, Big Ovens Lane, representing the Chicago Bears. Always Papa, Corey Tops, representing Detroit Lions. Shedeur, Axel, representing the New Orleans Saints. We love you guys. Football is back. On to the season. See you guys soon.
Yes.